Well, what do you think of this recent? There's a recent wrestling show that took place at Thunder Bay, Ontario. It was this past Thursday night. That's in Canada, and had a lot of former War Wrestling Entertainment talent at the show. Here's some of the matches that I saw a highlights package of on a YouTube video. The Highlanders, they won an easy squash match against some jobbers. Coco Beware won a match with a screwjob finish and a fast ref count. Then there was a highly talked about match between Leaping Lanny Poffo the Genius and Brutus the Barber Beefcake. You know, they had a feud back in late '89, early 1990. And actually, Genius even wore his little funny wig in that match, and he actually pulled the upset. He wore the wig, and Beefcake put him in the sleeper. He got out, and he rolled up Beefcake, hooking the tights for the victory. And they cut some promos. I know Poffo was at a little, he looked like he was like at a dock or something like that, and Beefcake cut a promo from his gym or something like that. I'm a little bit surprised that they put the Genius over. Do you think it's because he's in better shape these days and he's more enthusiastic, or why would they put him over?
Well, you got to think about it. There's only like a select few wrestling fans to this day that would watch it. So to them, it's like kind of like reliving it if it was an upset.
Yeah. And they also had Abdul and the Butcher took on an opponent, and it was a wild hardcore brawl. They're using tables and chairs and taking it to the crowd. I'm not really sure who won. And then the main event was Jim Duggan against Psycho Sid, and they had Duggan pin Sid in an upset. Who the heck would book that? I mean, I saw Jim Duggan getting a victory. What is up with that?
Did he hit him with the 2x4?
I think it was a clean victory. I'm not positive, but I don't know why they book him over. Do you think it's because he's a current World Wrestling Entertainment superstar? Is that why? Or why would they?
That's probably why.
The Sid is like a former champion. Sid's one of the big names. I mean, how could that guy put over Hacksaw Jim Duggan by pinfall? I don't believe it.
Well, when you got a contract, you just win. I'm sorry.
I guess that's true. Also, you know, Sid about like 10 years ago, he was in an independent show here in New Jersey. He's put over some local town. There's a lot of cheating, of course, but he actually let a local town pin him back then too. So I guess Sid's he's a good player. He's not going to refuse to do jobs for no reason.
Well, I guess he'll just take money.
Yeah, just take the money, whatever you can do with it. All right, last night's Raw commercial free, but no, in reality, it was a big hype for KFC. It was one big advertisement. You know, they had CM Punk come out. He's like saying, "Oh, can I have some of this KFC?" You know, the grilled chicken. Michael Cole wants some of it. He wants to buy it from Jerry Lawler. I mean, what do you think of this Raw? It's a joker.
Well, I'm sorry to tell you this, King and Michael Cole and there. Forget it, I'm not doing the impression today. It's early.
All right, no problem.
The chicken thing. Well, actually, no. Dad.
Yeah.
Dad. What did you think about the big advertisement last night? Last night. The KFC advertisement for Raw.
What's he saying?
He said it was completely phony and not even real.
It's a joke. I actually thought that that six-man tag they had was pretty entertaining, though. The one with the dancing Great Khali and his dancing manager, Ron Johnson.
Yeah.
And they teamed up with Ray and Jeff Hardy against Jericho, Edge, and Dolph Ziggler. I thought that was a pretty good match. Did you like that one? Oh, you think it's funny?
I think the whole thing is a joke, really.
Yeah. The rest of the show I thought was pretty boring. You know, Orton Triple H the millionth time, and they're going to be going at it again on the pay-per-view. I'm just getting tired of this same feud over and over.
Well, it's going to continue.
What about The Miz? The Miz getting a pay-per-view match now with John Cena?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just don't get this current Raw product, man. I can't really get into it, can't follow it, but...
The Miz, World Heavyweight Champion. Think of that for a minute.
He's pretty entertaining, though. I love the way he comes out. He's like, I'm 7-0. Do you have any other thoughts on some stuff going on in the wrestling world right now, or anything you want to mention about Raw, anything?
Yeah, there's one thing.
All right, go ahead.
It's turned from action-packed, big-time wrestling matches to a little drama soap opera. I don't want to marry you, Vicky. Get out of my face.
That's true, isn't it? Like kid-friendly these days and rated like for
it's PG
12-year-olds or something. It's a joke.
I like John Cena. He's my hero.
Wow.
That's the reason why DX got disbanded, because they were too rated, I don't know, not PG.
I love that little thing they did, though, that one time. McMahon, and he goes, "You people think this is funny?" And they're like drawing like a little cock thing on the screen. I don't know.
You heard TNA threw a few shots at the WWE in the past 3 months or so.
You want to mention any specific things?
All right, they had some dude, like, they didn't show his face, but they had him wearing a Vince McMahon wig and wearing like a like his suit, tie, and all that. and they had him doing this retarded walk. That walk he does.
Can you imagine he walked into his meetings doing that little strut and everything? That'd be just
No, but this is like an exaggerated strut. Like his arms
Yeah.
were flying everywhere, and he had like a cage with a chicken in it.
That's just great.
And then the other one was, I think this may have happened last year. I can't really remember, but Bubba Ray Dudley, Dudley Boys, former WWE people. Well, they didn't throw a shot at WWE. They threw a shot at ECW, which technically is the WWE. And he stapled a sign that says ECW fears TNA on Monster Abyss's forehead.
Speaking of TNA, I was at SummerSlam 2007. There's this guy sitting behind me, and he's going the whole night. He's like, "I'd rather be at home watching TNA and my good buddy Double J." Like he kept putting over TNA, but like
Talking about Jeff
Double
Jarrett?
J,
Is that Double J?
yeah, Jeff Jarrett though. But Jeff Jarrett's style is more like the World Wrestling Entertainment style. He doesn't really wrestle the TNA style. So this guy was just contradicting himself. He was like a big hick, and it was just so funny listening to this guy the whole night. And he's like, "Man, my buddy Double J, I want to watch some AJ Styles matches." Just watching this guy was just so entertaining. And
It's like
that's just
I would have said, "Do you ever shut up?" Really?
yeah, exactly. The guy wouldn't shut up. It was just really that was actually a pretty bad SummerSlam too. Other than the main event between Orton and Cena, that was a pretty lackluster SummerSlam in my opinion. 2007.
Well, it's all like kind of sad now.
It's been going downhill the last few years, exactly.
Like, what
All right.
is our best match for 25? You think?
I would say Undertaker and Michaels, no doubt.
But if you take that out, Triple H, Orton, it was what
That
you
was
thought
pretty
it would be. It's what you
That
thought.
was really bad for a main event.
I know, but they should have switched the two personally.
Yeah, I know. I think the Hardy match was alright, and so was the Legend match against Jericho was entertaining too. But other than that, I think the show was pretty bad.
I know you're supposed to, fake some things, but could you try to explain to me how you fake that twist of fate in a chair like that?
I don't
How
know.
does that work?
It just messed up some of the things they're booking right now. All right, I'd like to thank you, Mr. Frosty Combo, for coming on here, and hopefully get some more good rants coming up in the future. This was a pretty good show. Any other comments you want to give our folks, or any plugs before we get going?
Well, it's not really a problem. I'm pretty much ready. Come on the show anytime I'm needed, I guess.
All right, and check out us on Gaming Palooza with the great reviews and the aftershock. And we'll talk to you soon. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.